Hi and welcome to the complete guide to using AI for a sales team. If you or your team spend time prospecting, writing outreach emails, preparing for calls, following up with leads, or building proposals, this video is going to change how you work. I'm going to show you exactly how AI can help you sell more in less time. Not by replacing the human relationship, because that is still what closes the deals, but by taking over the hours of research, writing, and admin work that eat into your actual selling time. By the end of this video, you will know how to use AI to research any prospect in minutes and walk into every call fully prepared, write personalized outreach emails at scale, analyze your sales calls and get instant coaching feedback, manage your pipeline and know exactly which deals to focus on, generate professional proposals from rough call notes in minutes, and handle objections and craft strategic follow-up responses. This is a part of my AI for Business series. I have full courses on AI basics, Cloud Code, Cloud Cowork, AI for marketing, and AI for operations down below on my YouTube channel, and this video is going to be specifically for anyone who sells. Now let's get started with the video. Now let's start with reality check. Most salespeople spend less than 35% of their time actually selling. The rest goes to research, writing emails, updating the CRM, building proposals, preparing for the calls, and doing the admin work. AI won't close deals for you, but it will give you back the other 65% of your day so you can spend it on activities that actually generate revenue, which is building relationships and having conversations. I'm going to show you 6 specific use cases today, all live on my computer. These are the things that I implemented into my clients' companies, and they're using them every single day for their sales department. There are 3 ways AI can help you with sales. Number 1 is preparation. Before every call, meeting, or outreach, AI can research the prospect, find pain points, and prepare talking points. Walking into a call prepared versus unprepared is the difference between a 20% close rate and a 40% close rate. Second thing is communication. Writing emails, follow-ups, proposals, objection responses. AI does not just write faster, it writes smarter because you can give it context about the specific situation and it will tailor every single message. And number 3 is analysis. After calls, AI can analyze what went well, what was missed, and what to do next. For pipeline management, it can spot patterns in your data that help you prioritize the right deals. Every use case that I'm going to show you today falls into one of these 3 categories. Now, let's get started. The first use case is researching prospects before a call or outreach message. This is the single highest ROI activity for sales reps, and most people either skip it completely or do it badly because they don't have the time to focus on it and it takes too long. Here I have research notes on 5 imaginary target prospects, and let me show you what happens when I give Claude this information and ask it to prepare me for outreach. Inside Claude, I'm going to say, here's the research I gathered on a prospect I want to reach out to. Based on this information, give me, number 1, a 5-sentence briefing I can read before the call. Number 2, their 3 most likely pain points based on the research ranked by severity. Number 3, exactly how my AI consulting services could help each pain point. Number 4, 5 smart discovery questions I should ask on the call that show I have done my homework. Number 5, 2 potential objections they might raise and how to handle them. And number 6, a suggested opening line for a call or email that references something specific about their business. And below this prompt, I'm going to paste the prospect 1 details. Let's use Opus 4.6 at high and let's press send. Okay, about 30 seconds later, we have our full sales preparation for this company. First of all, we have the 5-sentence briefing explaining what their company does, their structure. It also mentioned that they expanded into wholesale by supplying local restaurants, which means that they're now managing 2 fundamentally different fulfillment methods. One is direct-to-consumer parcels, and they also have B2B orders. And they're probably using the same team and tools for that. And it also said that they posted a job post for a warehouse operations coordinator last month, which signals to us that they've been trying to increase the headcount of their company because their current systems are not supported by the amount of people that they have currently. Their Google reviews flagged 3 to 5 day shipping on perishable food, which is a churn risk and a brand risk that will only get worse as volume grows. So here it already extracted some of their pain points and their current situation. It understood what are the common struggles that they have. And in the second paragraph about their pain points, it's probably going to tell us more about it. Their most urgent problem is that their fulfillment operation is manual and won't survive the growth they're chasing. This often happens as companies are scaling, for example, from 10 to 20 employees. There's a big gap in the processes that they're going to do. First of all, they need to hire more people, they need to manage those people well, and they need to put in good systems in place in order to be able to scale to the next level. Hand-packed with care is great copy, but it means humans are doing the work that should be systematized. So this is their first pain point. The second pain point is shipping speed on perishable goods. 3 to 5 business days is borderline unacceptable for organic food. So obviously AI already has this data from all of the information online and it understands that this is a major risk when it's compared to competitors. And the third is the lack of operational visibility across 2 sales channels and 2 warehouses. Sarah is almost certainly managing wholesale orders through spreadsheets or email threads, while Shopify handles direct-to-consumer separately with no unified view of inventory, demand patterns, or fulfillment capacity. As wholesale grows, she'll hit the allocated conflicts and she won't see it coming until it's already a problem. So here we have 3 big pain points that we can emphasize in our outreach message. Number 3 is how your AI consulting maps to each. Here it's going to analyze how our service can be valuable for them, and it's going to create a good value proposition for us and explain how can we bring value to them. Number 4 is 5 discovery questions. And I really like that these questions were not written in a way where it says, okay, so can you tell me more about your bottlenecks in the company? Or can you tell me what takes the most amount of your time? But these are very specific to what we did in the research. So as you see, it says, you mentioned supply chain challenges in a recent post. So we're focusing on something that's not just a general message, but we're focusing on their background and on their activity that we saw online. And we're going to ask them follow-up questions about that and discovery questions as well. With the wholesale expansion, how are you currently splitting inventory between restaurant orders and your DTC meal kits? So this is something that a well-prepared sales rep will do. He will analyze what their actual problems are and then come up with a solution and explain how that solution is going to solve their problem and how easy it's going to be for them and what are the benefits for them, what kind of value will they see, what kind of results can they see, the transformation behind it, all of that. What does the decision process look like when a time-sensitive perishable order comes in? Does someone on the floor decide priority, or is there a system that queues it? If you could snap your fingers and have perfect information about one thing in your operation tomorrow morning, what would it be? You're hiring a warehouse operation coordinator. Is that role meant to manage the current process, or are you hoping that person will also help redesign how things work? These are all great questions because they're not general, as I said. And especially in 2026, every business owner is getting blasted with cold outreach emails. We need to make these personalized. We need to make these about their actual problems. We shouldn't tell them, hey, and I hope you're having a great day. I saw that the weather in Louisiana is great. Nobody cares about that. Everyone knows that you're trying to pitch them with something. So if you're trying to pitch them, and that's what I'm doing, I'm not a salesperson. I just own a business, and it happens that I'm selling for myself because I have a small business. But whenever I'm talking to someone, I'm upfront about wanting to sell to them. But I'm also upfront about the benefits that they're going to get and the problems that I'm going to solve to them. I'm not going to try to hide the fact that I'm selling to them. I just want to understand what are your needs. What is the number one thing that I can do for you? Is it improving processes in your company? Is it saving your time? Is it saving your money? Is it making you have less people to manage because we can add some AI systems in your company that will save you time and money. I want to understand what are your needs, what are your problems, and how I can fulfill those problems for you. That is the job of a sales rep. Another thing we have here is 2 objections and responses. So AI already thought ahead, and it gave us 2 possible objections and responses that she will have for us. Number 1 is she'll probably say something like, we're a 35-person organic food company, not a tech company. AI sounds like an overkill for our size. And then it gave us a response which says, that's actually the perfect size for this because you're big enough that manual processes are breaking, but small enough that we can implement something in weeks, not in months, like if it was an enterprise. I'm not talking about building a massive enterprise. Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about connecting the tools you already use, like Shopify, to smart automation that eliminates the repetitive decision your team makes hundreds of times in a day. Of course, we can implement different solutions. We can implement Klaviyo for their email marketing. We can implement their social media so we can see all of the stats and we can track what's happening inside of there. If they're doing Meta ads, we'll connect that as well into their dashboard and they will be able to track all of that. These are all functional features that CEO wants to see on their dashboard. He doesn't want to go into 15 different platforms and to search for Klaviyo and then not having the login credentials and then dealing with 10 different people and figuring things out. People want efficiency and fast things. And by the way, all of this presentation is focused on AI implementation and AI services. This isn't my pitch at all, but I just want you to realize that whatever you're doing, you can give context to AI, and AI will, based on what you do, based on the research it did on your industry, on your market, on your services or product, it's going to give you customized outreach messages, and whatever you do within this Claude chat, it will save the responses into its own memory and it will be updated every single time you work with it. This example is about AI implementation and consulting because it has the previous context on who I am and what I do, but whatever you're doing, just give it context and it will do an amazing job for you at analyzing these. Because many people will say, yeah, but I can figure that out by myself. But then 90% of sales reps are not doing this. 90% of your sales reps, if you have a sales team, you know that none of your sales reps is actually preparing like this for every single call. Because if they did, their conversion rate would be higher. That's just the fact. The second thing will be cost sensitivity. We just expanded into wholesale and we're watching every dollar right now, and the response is totally fair. And that's exactly why the timing matters. Right now, you're about to hire a warehouse coordinator at conservatively 55 to 65K a year, fully loaded. If we build a system that handles the orders, routing, and prioritization, that person would be doing manually. You either avoid that hire entirely or you make that person twice as effective from day one. So as you can see, this is a great objection handling done by AI. And this can also be scaled. I'm going to show you just in a second. And we also have the opening lines here for a cold email. Sarah, I saw your post about supply chain challenges and then noticed you're hiring a warehouse ops coordinator, which tells me you're scaling faster than your current systems can keep up. So yeah, as you can see, it's personalized, it's straight to the point, it's mentioning their problem and offering them solutions. And it also has a really soft, not pushy call to action saying, would a 20-minute conversation be worth it this week? It's straight to the point, and it's really amazing what AI did in 30 seconds. Now we can also do this at scale. We can import 100 leads at a time, and we can let AI process it, and it can also fill it afterwards in a CSV with all of the data, or into our custom dashboard, or into any other software, and we'll be able to have everything done automatically without us doing anything. So let's do that. I'm going to attach the file with all of those 5 imaginary prospects. And I'm going to say this. Here are 5 prospects I'm targeting this week. For each one, give me a one-line summary of their most likely pain point, a personalized opening line for a cold email, and the single strongest value proposition I should lead with. Put it in a table format so I can use it as a quick reference sheet for the week. All right, about 60 seconds later, we have our full cheat sheet for the week with all of the 5 leads. And I can also open it in Drive by pressing this button. and all of the data is stored here and organized well. We see their company, contact, pain point, cold email opener, and lead value proposition. So let's take a look at Ford, for example. It says that their issue is manual tracking and data entry make them look outdated next to competitors like Chipmunk, who just raised 65 million for AI-powered fulfillment. Here's the opener. It says, Carlos, your competitor just raised 65 million for AI fulfillment. Atlas doesn't need 65 million, but it does need smarter systems. Okay, this is maybe too aggressive. I wouldn't lead with something like this, but obviously you can fine-tune what Claude is going to give to you and the tone of the messages. But for me personally, I wouldn't use something like this because it sounds like you're not doing something right, I'm going to help you. It's kind of overly arrogant. I don't like it that much, but it's based on their pain point, so that's a good thing. And it also did a research that their competitor raised $65 million. So lead value proposition is real-time shipment visibility dashboards and automated data pipelines that match enterprise 3PL technology at a fraction of the cost. Okay, the value proposition is good. Let's see the other opener for Brightside Insurance. It said, Catherine, 47 likes on your modernization post means your audience is telling you exactly what they want. Let's build it. Okay, this is something more polite and more friendly. And yeah, this is just the preview on what is possible for the outreach. The second use case that I'm going to cover today is connected to the previous one we did, and I'm going to show you with the same example. And it is going to be writing call outreach emails that actually get responses. So we're not going to focus on something in general, we're going to focus on personalized outreach messages, and AI is going to write them for us. In the same chat that we used previously, I'm going to say, using the research on Ridgeline property management, write me a cold outreach email. Requirements: open with something specific about their situation. Don't use generic flattery like I love what you're doing. Mention one concrete way AI could help them. Include a brief credibility point and with a low pressure call to action, and make it feel like a real person wrote it, not like a template. Keep it under 120 words. Don't use words like streamline or leverage. Why are we mentioning don't use these words? Because emails are very specific. They have spam filters, and just getting into someone's inbox is very hard right now. First of all, you need to do the email warming up for about a month. Then you need to create different domains and different emails under each of the domains. I would recommend 4 domains and 3 emails per domain. That will give you 12 different email addresses that you can send email outreach from. And yeah, as I said, you can send about 25 to 30 messages from each account per day. Make sure that all of your records are set up properly. I'm talking about Dicky, IM, DMark, and the other ones. And also make sure that you're not using any spam words, because when you mention money, when you mention leverage, when you mention wealth, these are all going to be filtered as spam or as scam. Also, don't add any links into your first messages, and keep the call to action very light, so it's easy for people to just respond with yes. Also, one of the call to actions that you can use is you can say, if this is something that you'll be interested in, just reply yes, and I'm going to show you how it works. And then in the next message, when someone already responded to you, you can send the link, because if you send links in the first email, it's very likely that you will go to spam very fast. And the website domain that you're going to use, yourcompany.com, that should never touch any emails. That's going to be just for hosting your website. All of the other emails are going to be for email outreach, because if any of those emails get blacklisted, your website will get blacklisted as well. Don't ask me how I know. I spent a lot of time into email marketing as well and doing my own outreach. I also have some videos on that on my YouTube channel. So feel free to check out for more tips on that. But now let's get back into what AI gave back to us. The subject line before property number 26. I'm not sure why is this the subject line. Okay, so this is based on the research that AI did. So it's mentioning before property 27. It is personalized, especially if the CEO is going to read that email. He will know exactly what we're talking about, but I'm thinking that maybe some customer support rep is going to read this email and maybe it won't understand what we're trying to talk about. So I will maybe change it to something that makes more sense, that they can forward it to the CEO straight away. But if we're reaching Brian directly, and we already know that Brian is the CEO, then this is a good opener. Your post about needing better systems before taking on more properties stuck with me, especially knowing you just added 4 new ones to the portfolio. That's 26 properties worth of tenant requests, hitting a theme that was already stretched at 22. I build AI systems that automate tenant request triage. Okay, so here we have the problem. Here, the first sentence is just about understanding that this is personalized for them. So we are saying something that makes sense with something that they previously posted. Here we have just amplifying their pain points, mentioning that they've been probably struggling at 22 and just adding 4 new ones to their portfolio will make it even harder for them to manage everything. And here we have the solution introduction. We're mentioning what we do and how we can help them solve that issue. And here we have a little line about credibility. I built a similar system for a client that cuts their average response time by 60%. Okay, so here they can get a feeling on the transformation that they can get. And the call to action is worth 15 minutes this week to see if it's a fit. Yeah, this is all good. And this can also be done at scale. We can also send it directly with Gmail. So as you can see on the bottom here, when we click this plus button, we can add different connectors. I have added multiple apps here. We have ClickUp, Fathom, Gmail, Google Calendar, etc. And it's already connected to my Gmail, so I can send it straight away to Brian. And I can also copy it here and add it to my CRM if I want to send that email later on. In the connectors here, you also have some other platforms. I'm pretty sure they also have Klaviyo for email marketing. Yeah, we have Klaviyo here. You can connect Klaviyo directly and you can have an automated process where AI is going to draft these responses and outreach messages and is going to forward it straight to Klaviyo and to schedule them, so they're going to be sent out from your emails. Now let's also do this at scale. I'm going to say, now write personalized cold emails for the other 4 prospects. Same rules, specific opener, 1 concrete AI use case per company, credibility mention, 15-minute call to action, under 120 words each, and make each email genuinely different in angle and tone. And 60 seconds later, we have our emails. The first one says, the hire that might not fix it. Sarah, I noticed you're hiring a warehouse operation coordinator, so it's mentioning something that's currently related to their business. That combination has this problem. I do this. I did this for my previous clients. Call to action. Hey Jennifer, your comment on that AI in financial services article, curious but cautious, is exactly the right instinct. Most firms either ignore AI internally or chase shiny tools that don't fit their practice. So here it's a positive thing. We're acknowledging that it's good that they're AI aware. Here it's mentioning what the AI solution can look like for them. Here it's mentioning what I did for my previous clients, and here we have the call to action. And it's the same structure for all of the emails. And if you had 100 emails, it would do the same. It will analyze their specific needs and then answer and speak exactly to those. Now let me show you a section of a dashboard that I built for my clients that talks about this specific need. So here we have abandoned cart follow-up list. These are all of the people who already talked to our sales reps and they added the purchasing item into their cart and then they abandoned it. We see exact value of every single product that they wanted to purchase. So these are $7,500 purchases, and we organized a follow-up list and template based on their needs. For example, if they're an aesthetic business, we can select this, and it's going to generate us a custom follow-up message for them that's going to build more trust and rapport with them, that's going to share them a link to one of our client success stories so they can get more familiar with what we're doing. And this is a very easy way for you to do follow-up messages because it doesn't cost you anything extra. Those leads are already warm, they're already familiar with what you're doing, and maybe they're just trying to get over the fence to buy your product, and these follow-ups will help with that. And one last thing about email outreach is that we also want to split test it sometimes. So I'm going to say for the Ridgeline Property Management email, write two alternative versions. Version A, lead with the cost of the problem, calculate what 72-hour response times are costing them in tenant satisfaction and retention. And version B, lead with social proof, what we did for a similar property management company, keep both under 120 words. Here we have two different versions. Number one says a 72-hour maintenance response time doesn't just frustrate tenants, it costs you money. So it's emphasizing their pain points and mentioning exactly how much it will cost them. And the second one says last quarter I worked on this and this and saves this amount of time and money, etc. So it's talking about the transformation. From these two, I like number one more because it's straight to the point and it's monetary. It's mentioning exactly how much money they can be saving and how much money they will be losing if they don't implement solutions like that. Obviously, I don't like to emphasize things like, oh, you will be losing this, but you need to be straight to the point with them, because if you can actually deliver someone $150,000 of savings per year, it is your moral obligation to sell to them. That's just my mindset, and that's how most of the sales reps are thinking, and that's exactly why they're getting that kind of results. The third use case is analyzing your sales call transcripts and giving you immediate feedback. Instead of going from one call to another without thinking much about it, AI is going to analyze every single call by getting its own transcript, and it's going to break down what went well, what was missed, and exactly what to do next to be even better. Here I have a transcript from a fictional discovery call here. I'm going to paste it into Claude and watch what happens. I'm going to say, here's a transcript from a discovery call I just had. Analyze it as an experienced sales coach. Give me a 3-sentence summary of the call, what I did well, what I missed or could improve, the prospect's key pain points ranked by how much they seem to care about each one, their buying signals, their objections or concerns, and how well I handled each one, the exact follow-up email I should send based on this conversation, risk assessment, what could cause this deal to stall or fall apart. And obviously I attached the full sales transcript as a TXT. And just 10 seconds later, we already have something written here. First of all, the summary. This was a well-structured discovery call with Marcus Webb, CEO of a 5-location fitness chain, where he successfully uncovered 3 core pain points: manual reporting across fragmented systems, untrackable marketing spend, and repetitive front desk inquiries. And position yourself as someone who solved these exact problems before. You entered high at $45,000 to $55,000, handled a price objection by pivoting to a phased approach starting at $28,000 to $32,000, and close with a concrete next step to send assets and loop in decision maker. The deal is warm but not closed. The real buyer, the business partner, hasn't been in the room yet. So that's the basic objection that most sales reps get. That is, oh, I need to talk to someone. And by the way, this is all fictionary discovery call. So it says what you did well. The open-ended pain discovery was textbook. Instead of pitching immediately, you asked, where are you feeling the most pain, and let Marcus talk. You quantified his pain back to him in a way that stung. The line, so you're spending $8,000 a month on marketing and you cannot tell which channels are performing and which are wasting money. So that's a great reframe. I agree with that. Your summary checkpoint was sharp when you said, let me make sure I have the full picture, and listed all 3 pain points back to him. That did two things. It proved you were listening, and it got him to verbally confirm the problem set. You normalized his situation instead of shaming it, saying it's extremely common. Most businesses at your stage are in the exact same position. You answered with credibility, mentioning that I already did it for previous clients. The price objection pivot was smooth when he pushed back on 45 to 55,000. You didn't flinch, didn't apologize for the price, and didn't discount. You offered a phased approach that started with the highest impact deliverable that preserved your value positioning while meeting him where he is. And here we have things that could have been improved. You never asked about revenue or quantify the cost of the problem. So this is one of the common issues with new sales rep, because they don't feel comfortable asking about the numbers. You didn't probe the 8K marketing spend deeply enough. You didn't ask about the decision-making process until the end, and only by accident. So yeah, that's another rookie mistake in the beginning of the call, or even before the call, in our pre-framing and qualifying questions. When someone is booking a call, we should always ask if they are the decision maker, so we can qualify people who we're going to get on a call with. You let the secondary pain points go too easily. You didn't establish urgency or timeline. The follow-up timing is vague. 4 pain points ranked by how much market cares: manual reporting across fragmented systems, untrackable marketing spend, repetitive front desk questions, staff scheduling and trainer progress tracking, and objections and how I handled them. So the objection was too high of a price and need to involve the business partner. And it's also giving me some instructions on how I should handle them in the future. And it's also giving me this follow-up email. So let me try to guess what it's going to say in that. It's probably going to mention more of the transformation that he's going to get. It's going to go more into those pain points, I guess. So let's see. Here's what I'm sending over. So this is like a little proof on what I've built for others, a proposal, a few numbers we're thinking about. Yeah, we're going straight into the transformation. So at $8,000 per month. So these are all the missed opportunities that it mentioned before. At $8,000 per month, that's $96,000 per year. Even a 15% optimization would save you $14,000 a year. And here we're pitching him about getting a call with their business partners so I can demo them the application instead of showing them screenshots. So this is a very good follow-up email. Maybe it's too detailed. It depends on how well we connected to our prospect, but it is very valuable for them because they can see some real numbers. They can see exactly how many hours are they going to save per week. And that is all great. It's focusing on the ROI, it's focusing on the transformation, and it's also giving them the room to see exactly how that dashboard would work for them and how it looks like for my previous clients. Risk assessment, so it's giving us all of the risk here, and it's giving us like the overall feeling about this specific call. And now that we have all of this, we can also say, based on this call analysis, what are the 3 most important things I should do in the next 48 hours to move this deal forward, rank them by impact, and give me the exact steps. And while I'm doing this, just think how many sales reps are actually doing all of this to really go deeply for each of the leads, because previously it would take you days to prepare this. But now with AI, I think not a lot of people are aware of all of the possibilities, and not a lot of sales reps are actually implementing these systems. All of the things that I'm mentioning right now, the AI analysis, the follow-up lists, the automated outreach, split testing email campaigns, all of that can be inside one dashboard. And I'm going to show you this example again, because I also did the AI call analysis for my client, and it's something that is analyzing every single call, and they're having tens of calls per day because they have multiple sales reps. And I'm going to show you in just a second. Let me just see what happens here. Here are the 3 moves ranked by how much they change your odds of closing. Get the partner on a live call before the proposal goes cold. Build a Pinnacle specific ROI 1-pager to include with the proposal, and record a personalized 3 to 5 minute loom with a demo. So yeah, if they can get on a call, just record a Loom and send it over to them. Now let me show you that real project that I did with the AI analysis as well. So inside that same dashboard that I created for my clients, in the sales subsection, we have the pipeline where we can see all of the data about the pipeline. By the way, I can show you every single thing here because it's confidential. It's something that I've built personally and customized for my client. We can get on a call so I can show you a little bit more around. But we have the call AI analysis page, which gives us all of the data. We can sort it here by date. So as you can see, last week we had 800 calls. Average call duration was 1 minute because most of them were no answer or they were going straight to voicemail. And here we can see the AI score for all of the calls that are longer than 20 seconds and where we have people who answered. AI is going to do AI analysis for us. So let's view one of those calls. As you can see, overall score of this is 2 out of 10. It's negative and it's giving us exact reasons why. This call was failed appointment attempt resulting from a preventable scheduling error. Jeff called at the wrong time despite being explicitly told at the correct time the day prior. And we have compliance flags, so there's no compliance flags. Nothing that he mentioned in the call was incorrect. How to sell to this type of lead. We also have some other info about this lead specifically. Here we have red flags on something that our sales rep didn't listen to or said in a wrong way that could have made our lead less interested. Here we have missed opportunities, follow-up items, strengths, and we have the full transcript here. So these are just 2 small features of this dashboard. And if you're looking into something like this, I would highly recommend checking my website because you can get a little better demo there, as well as getting on a call with me so we can analyze exactly what your team is doing, what your company is doing, and where we can implement things like this, because this makes it very easy for you to track every single lead, every single call that is being held, every single ad, every single marketing campaign. All of the data is going to be stored into one dashboard, into all departments. We can see marketing department, we have multiple pages, clients, operations. Every single thing will be linked to each other from 10 different tabs, 20 different tabs that you're using. And it's also going to give you cross-department info. And there's a bunch of features that are very, very, very valuable for your company, for any pretty much company that's doing e-commerce, brick and mortar, whatever you're doing. I guarantee you that I can save you time and money and improve efficiency in your business. Now let's get started with the next use case. Fourth use case is managing your pipeline with AI. I have a fictional pipeline here with 15 active leads at various stages. Let me show you exactly how Claude works with it. In the new Claude chat, I'm going to attach the sales pipeline CSV file, and I'm going to say, here's my current sales pipeline, analyze it and give me pipeline health overview with total pipeline value, weighted pipeline value, and how this looks for hitting a $120,000 quarterly target. Number 2, deals to prioritize this week. Which 3 deals should I focus on and why? Consider deal size, win probability, momentum, and what stage they are in. Deals at risk. Which deals are in danger of dying? Look at days in stage, last contact dates, and any red flags. Number 4, pipeline gaps. Am I too heavy in one stage? Not enough early stage deals. Which lead sources are performing best? Number 5, a specific action plan for this week, Monday through Friday. Which deals to work on each day and what to do? Be specific and practical. And about 90 seconds later, we have the full breakdown. We have the pipeline health overview, analyzing our numbers. It says the real picture is worse than the numbers suggest. Today in August 10th, and your most recently contacted deal is 15 days old. Most of your high value deals haven't been touched in 3+ weeks. The encouraging part is you have 6 deals in closable stages, worth $317,000 combined and $224,000 weighted. If you re-engage aggressively this week, $120K is very achievable, but you're running out of runway to let things sit. Number 2, 3 deals to prioritize this week. We have the 3 deals that we should put our priority into, and it's giving us the reason on why not some other companies. Deals at risk, it's also mentioning those, pipeline gaps, and it's preparing the action plan day by day. So let's wait for that to finish. The action plan took 2 or 3 minutes more because it was generating me an HTML preview here, and it is mentioning the top 4 cards, which are total pipeline, weighted value, coverage ratio, and average staleness. It's also telling us where our attention should go. It's giving us lead source performance based on where do we get all of these leads. It's giving us the daily action plan. For every single day, it is mentioning what we should do. Now, this is also changeable. So if we communicate to AI back and we say that some of the things in our pipeline have changed, it will also update the results. So I'm just going to say, I just lost the Forge construction deal. They went with a competitor. An evergreen signed today. Update the pipeline analysis and tell me what changed in my numbers. What should I focus on differently now? And do I have enough early stage deals to hit my target next week? And I'm just going to add to it. And please don't do the step number 5, which is the action plan. No need for that at the moment. Just so we can save some time with this demonstration. By the way, the app that I'm using to speak to AI without typing is called Whisper Flow. It's something that I'm using every single day and saving me a lot of time typing, because especially when you're working on some larger scale projects, when you're doing prompt engineering, it's great to just turn on the feature to speak to AI and it will understand exactly what you need. You can speak with those ums, and making mistakes, and Whisper Flow is the app to use because it will understand the context and what you're saying by using AI technologies. When you're using Claude's or ChatGPT's or any other app's native voice feature, it doesn't work as well because it will often misunderstand what you were supposed to say. And here we have good and bad news in these updates. So it says what changed in the numbers, what to focus on differently, and it's basically analyzing all of our data with those updates and it's giving us some different instructions on what to do. The 5th use case is turning messy meeting notes into professional proposals. You're probably using Firefly's AR or Phantom AI, which are the 2 apps that are going to automatically record every single call that you have through Google Meets or Zoom Meets or any other platform that you're using. They're going to generate transcripts, and then you can use those transcripts, copy and paste them into Claude and have Claude process those meeting notes and turn them into professional proposals. So in Claude, I'm going to say, here are my rough notes from a discovery call with a wealth management firm. Turn these into a professional proposal. Structure. Number 1, opening paragraph that shows I understood their situation. Number 2 is problem statements, the 3 main challenges identified with context and impact. Number 3 is propose solutions for each challenge, describe what I would build and how it addresses their specific situation. Number 4, phased approach, break the project into 2 phases since they want to start manageable. Phase 1 should be the highest impact, most visible deliverables. Phase 2 adds the nice to haves. Number 5, timeline, realistic delivery dates for each phases. Number 6, investment, price phase 1 at $35,000 to $40,000 and phase 2 at $18,000 to $22,000, include the optional monthly retainer. Number 7, next steps, what happens after they say yes, make it professional but not corporate. This is a boutique firm that values personal relationships. The tone should feel like a trusted advisor, not a vendor. Include a section addressing their compliance concern about FINRA. After about 5 minutes, we have our full proposal here. I already opened it up in my Google Documents. So let's take a look. It looks professional. The design is on point. We can obviously make this a little bit smaller. It says who it's prepared for, by who, when was it prepared. It talks about their current situations, their challenges, about the potential impact of the applications that can be built for them. It's also mentioning the solution, all of the different apps and features that we can build for them. It also mentions how the approach would look like, that it will be a phased approach with 2 different phases, and exactly listing out every single thing that will be produced per phase. We also have the timeline here, so they know exactly how long it will take. We also have compliance and data integrity, because this is very important for all of the AI implementation projects. And we also have the investment, which talks about the pricing and next steps. If they're interested, we have a clear call to action on what to do next. Last use case is going to be responding to difficult prospect emails. I'm going to show you a reply from a fictional prospect who is interested but has serious reservations. And let me show you the email first, and let's go into Claude and paste the prompt for it. I said, I received this reply from a prospect. He is interested but skeptical because of a bad past experience with software implementation. Read his email carefully and then draft my response. This response needs to acknowledge his bad experience without being dismissive. Address each of his 4 requirements directly. Differentiate what they do from the building link disaster he described. Prove credibility without bragging. Take him up on his challenge to show something real, not a slide deck. Match his tone, which is direct and no nonsense. Don't be overly formal or salesy. Keep it under 250 words. This is a high value prospect at a 50-person company managing 22 properties, so this replies needs to be perfect. And here's the reply that AI generated for us. It says, hey Brian, appreciate the honesty. A 35,000 platform that your team rejected after 4 months isn't a failed implementation. That's a vendor who didn't understand how your people actually work. That frustration is completely valid. So here we're acknowledging what he already mentioned on the call, that he already invested $35,000 and that he wasn't happy with the implementation. So let me speak directly to your 4 points. Tenant communication bottleneck. I built an AI-powered triage layer that sits on top of your existing email or phone intake. Non-emergency requests get auto-categorized, routed, and responded to with status updates. Getting from 72 hours to 24-hour response times is a realistic 30-day target, not a pitch promise. Number 2, no new complicated system. My approach plugs into the tools your team already uses. No new logins, no retraining your staff on a platform they didn't ask for. That's the opposite of what BuildLink did to you. Measurable results in 30 days. I set up tracking from day 1. You'll see response time, resolution rates, and volume handled per person. If the numbers don't move, you'll know. Not 35K upfront. My engagement starts small and scale based on what's actually working. We're taking a fraction of that tied to implementation milestones. As for the demo, I agree slide decks are worthless. I built a full operational intelligence system for a national B2B company from the ground up. I'll walk you through that live and map it to your property management workflow so you can see exactly what this looks like in practice. I'll grab Thursday or Friday afternoon, sending a calendar link right now. Here we also have the option to send that to Gmail straight away. It answered this email exactly how we prompted it to do. It acknowledged what the potential client was talking about, and it gave them a clear call to action that isn't too pushy on booking a call. Before I wrap up, let me give you a few tips specific to using AI for sales work. Number 1, save your best prompts. Once you get a prompt that produces great outreach emails or call analysis, save it. Build a personal library. Over time, you will have a prompt for every sales scenario. Cold outreach, follow-ups, proposals, objection handling, call preparation. This turns AI from a novelty into a repeatable system. Second, give it your voice. Early on, paste a few emails you have written that got great responses. Tell Claude, this is how I write, match this tone. The more it knows your style, the less editing you need to do. Eventually, the drafts that AI produces will sound just like you wrote them. Number 3, use it in real time. Don't wait after the call to analyze it. Open Claude before the call for research, during the call to look up information, and after the call for the follow-up email. Make it part of your daily workflow, not a separate task. And fourth, always personalize. The biggest mistake you can make with AI is using it to send more generic emails faster. This is the exact opposite of what you should do. Use AI to send fewer, better, more personalized emails. 10 personalized emails will outperform 100 generic ones every single time. That's it. You now know how to use AI for 6 core sales activities. My recommendation right now is start with prospect research. Before your next sales call, paste whatever you know about the prospect into Claude and ask for a briefing. When you walk into that call more prepared than you have ever been and the prospect notices it, you will be hooked. You will start using AI every single day. If you want to go deeper into other areas, check out my full courses on AI for marketing, operations, and beginner courses to using Claude and AI in general. They're all free and they're packed with value. And if you watched this whole video and thought that you don't want to implement these systems yourself, but you want someone to implement AI across your whole company, build the tools, and train your team, that's exactly what I do. You can book a free discovery call where I will learn about your business and tell you exactly where AI can make the biggest impact. The link is below. I won't pressure you into anything. I won't do a sleazy sales pitch. I just want to understand what are your needs and how I can fulfill those for you. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.